You're listening to The Ride to Work with Pastor Fred. Fuel for your faith before you clock in. Enjoy the ride.
Hello, and thank you again. It's Ride to Work time, and it's Thursday, and we have been trudging along this week, and it's been a heavy week, but we thank God. Bible says the truth is the light. So, hey, I'm like Paul. I was just having this conversation. Man, it's amazing. Uh, as far as with a pastor, and he was talking about how certain members, as far as get upset based off of truth that he was speaking. And I say a lot of people, when we hear truth that's not hitting us, we'll shout amen, we'll do all of that. But when it hits us, we get in our feelings, our emotions, and it's like Paul said. He said, "Look, you mad at me now because I'm telling you the truth." I'm just paraphrasing, but you like me when I was talking about everybody else, but when it's hitting your doorstep, now are you mad at me now? The truth, is now made you my enemy. I mean, come on. So, but that's what we're dealing with, and a lot of us, I don't know, you may not like this week. But the truth is, and that's all I'm going to say about it. The truth is. So today we're talking about the excuse tax. I came up with this title, um, just based off of, um, the mere words tax, or the mere word, should I say, tax. Because when we deal with how we pay taxes and we pay for things, but then we have to have taxes included in it, and to pay for extra to take care of other things or other people or things outside of uh, who we are or our own lives and things of that nature. When you pay taxes, you're paying taxes for all types of other programs and all of that. So, uh, I titled this the excuse tax. So just think about that title while we go into this, should I say, the excuse tax, and uh, subtitle it, or should I say, the subtopic of it is what your habit is costing you. What your habit is costing you, because we dealt partially with habits upon yesterday, when we were talking about stop negotiating with discipline, and we dealt with certain habits, and we I requested and I just put out that let's start being more consistent. Consistency builds identities. So uh, that's what we were talking about. So I labeled this today the excuse tax, what your habit is costing you. And our character reference is Paul, but we're going to deal with Saul before his name changed to Paul. Saul was a bad boy. Bad boy. Listen, it's not about, like I said, condemning or anything like that. It's not. It's just clarity. That's all. It's just clarity. So let's understand that. But what we're talking about today is it's about cost. It's about cost. Because every habit has a price. It does. I mean, even the ones you don't think are costing you anything. And the truth is, um, excuses are expensive. They're expensive. They cost you something. The excuse tax. It does. Listen, every excuse always has a price. Excuses always have a price. Every excuse delays what discipline could deliver. That's the best way I can put it. That is the best way. They feel harmless in the moment. They do. Don't get me wrong. They do. But they accumulate over time. They do. And every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, I'm too tired, I don't have time. You know what's happening? When you're saying things like that, you're making a withdrawal from your future. It's costing you something. Time don't pause for excuses. It doesn't. See, Saul delayed, let me just give you some context. Saul delayed obedience until it cost him position. He did. He delayed. And a lot of people are doing the same thing. They're not losing because they're incapable. They're losing because they're inconsistent. My. Mm. They're inconsistent. That's why. Excuses create delay cycles. They do. And what happens is you begin to miss opportunities. Hear me when I say it. So many missed opportunities due to just delay, due to just procrastination, or again, just excuses. You're limiting yourself by repeatedly delaying. Don't you want more? Don't you want better? Think about it. Stop delaying. Look, what you delay today becomes what you regret tomorrow. What you delay today, hear me when I repeat it, becomes what you regret tomorrow. Even in dealing with someone that you love, someone that you care for, family member, friend, whatever. If there's a falling out, if forgiveness needs to happen, you need to do that. Don't put yourself in a situation to be regretting because of what you could have done in present time. Don't do it. Because it's often disguised as destruction. That's what delay is. It's often disguised. Huh? Disruption. That's what it is. You're destroying things by delaying. You're eliminating things by delaying. Things, expected things that are intended for you. But you delay. You miss opportunities. We've said this before. By delaying. Second thing I need you to understand, listen, habits create future outcomes. We said this in the previous episode, but I want to go a little more in depth with it. That's what I want to do because your future is being built by your daily decisions. No one just suddenly becomes successful or unsuccessful. Mm? They don't. And I'm not talking about when people say, "Oh, it was an overnight success" and all of that. No, success is sustainable. I consider success something that we can sustain. You know, like those music artists, they have what they call those one-hit wonders. They had a great song, great songs out, yes, but that was all they could produce. They couldn't sustain it, and that's what I'm trying to enlighten you on. You have to be able to sustain it. You have to. It's got it's repetition. It's repetition. It's repetition. You know that song Janet Jackson? What that song? What have you done for me lately? Yeah, I know you did this, but what have you done for me lately? Repetition. What you watch, what you eat, what you think, what you ignore, what you practice. Huh? Saul's downfall, it wasn't one moment. It was a pattern. It was a pattern. You have to understand that. Small choices create large outcomes. They do. They do. And your habits, the things that you do on the regular, they are writing, shaping, determining your next, your future, your life is being built even when you are not paying attention. Hear me when I say, because there are some habits that we have, we can, like I said, we can do with our eyes closed. We can do without even paying attention to it. Sometimes it's like subconsciously we're doing it. And before we know it, oh, did I just do that? Because it's so habitual to you. It's so embedded in you. You've adapted to so many things to where you don't even recognize when you're doing it. I remember at work, my boss, it's a word that I used to always say, and it cost me something because every time I would say it, I mean, I have to put up a quarter. And it was so habitual to me to where he would have to tell me, you did it again. You did it again. So I had to be intentional about what I say, how I speak, phrases that I use, things that I say, as to not say it. It's not that I was saying something bad, but it's just that I have done it so much I didn't notice that I was even doing it or saying the word. And sometimes it wasn't even necessary to say it. It just was so habitual that I said it. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's not even necessary to things that we do, but because we've become so addicted to doing it. And you can plug in whatever habit that you have that you know that's not edifying in any way, shape, or form, that's not pleasing to God, not edifying anybody. Actually, it's just detrimental to you. You can make it physical, you can make it emotional. I mean, I don't even have to give you the obvious, but you plug in whatever it is, make it applicable to your life. That's what we want to do. That's what we're talking about this morning. The excuse tax. Hmm? Listen, last thing, God often calls you out of what you call normal. He call you out of that normal stuff. Because comfortable habits, they can block divine assignments. They can do that. What feels normal to you may be what God is trying to change in you. Ooh, my gosh. Listen, 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 listen. Saul thought he was doing fine. He thought he was doing good. He did. While missing all the instructions, he thought he was doing good. There's a danger. I hear me when I say it. There's a danger in normalizing dysfunction. How many of us are doing that out there right now? You know it's jacked up. You know it is, but you normalize it. Huh? You don't question it anymore. Huh? You don't try to change in it or change it. Huh? How? You situations that are made and you know it's lessons to be learned in it, but you ain't even learning the lessons. You ain't even growing in it. You ain't even growing from it, should I say. You just in it and you normalize it. You need God to disrupt some stuff. We do. We need him to disrupt some stuff because we ain't gonna do it on our own. Let's just be honest. We're not gonna do it on our own. Those habits, those things, we ain't gonna change them on our own. It's not gonna happen that way. Transformation requires discomfort. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna do it on your own. We're not gonna do it on our own. So God has to interrupt our patterns for us to grow. He has to. Because what feels normal may be limiting your next level. And you prayed for the next level, but you cannot acquire the next level by the patterns that you're putting forth. So God says, you know what? I'll just tear all that up. I'll disrupt all of that. Hear me when I say I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. I'll disrupt all of that because you won't come away from it. You won't walk away from it. You won't. I'll just disrupt it. That's what I'll do. And you should never, ever, ever want to get to the point where God has to force your hand. Whew, man. Anyway, let me move on and close this out. Let me move on. Let me move on. And I'll just say this. We'll lose certain positions, we'll lose certain progress that's made, we'll lose valuable things We will. And it's not because we lacked opportunity, it's just because we protected patterns. And it costs us. When you lose things, that's costly. And we keep making excuses to stay in something. We keep making excuses to hold on to something, and it's costing us. It's taxing. And eventually, the tax is going to get bigger and bigger and more costly. And where will you end up? Where are you going? Because the further you think you're ahead, the farther you are behind because you're losing while you think you're gaining. Mm? What you call normal, that just might be what God is trying to break. Think about it. We'll be writing again tomorrow. It's going to be Juneteenth. I don't know if we're going to do a Five for Friday, if we're just going to do a full out episode. We'll see. I'll see what questions I get throughout the week and we'll determine that. But we'll do something special. We'll do something special. In the meantime, keep writing, keep believing, and yeah. Stop paying your excuse taxes and be consistent. God bless.